Welcome to another opportunity that we have in showing you what we call Afterreach. You know that we've been introducing to you the funeral directors across the country in your local communities, and now we have a brand new app that we're introducing to the community. So get ready. This is an exciting opportunity for the funeral, cemetery, cremation profession, and to all of the families that we serve. This is an opportunity for us to help you better help each other during a time of transition. When someone loses a loved one, sometimes it can be very difficult to bring all the family members together. But this app will help make sure that your community can go through and do something great for each other at a time of loss. We look forward to talking to you as we go through this interview and introducing to you Afterreach new app. Watch this beautiful video.
You're here to learn more about Afterreach. Recently, a local news station did a piece on us. We'd like to show you clips from that now to help explain what Afterreach is all about.
Over the course of less than 2 years, Joseph Jacobs, a school teacher, lost his mother, a close friend, the same friend's son, and then a student.
I saw people who wanted to help out, and I saw people who needed to be helped out, and we're all walking around with cell phones, and I thought there's got to be a way to bridge this gap.
From there, Afterreach was born.
There's a social awkwardness. We don't know when the right time to call is, or text, or should we just send a lasagna or casserole over to the house? Should we not? Should we visit? Should we leave them alone? There's all these questions, but it comes from a heart of wanting to help. And then on the other side of the wall is the family that could use the support. And they're thinking, well, everybody's going back to their lives. I don't want to bother them with my grief.
It has an easy calendar layout, allowing a support organizer to ask for tasks they need help with. People the family accepts into the network, which is kind of like getting a Facebook friend request, can pick up the tasks or offer another task. And once someone has picked it up, it remains on the calendar grayed out for others to see it's covered.
If we love to bake, we can offer to bake for them, with them. If we have a landscaping company and we want to take care of their lawn, or around here, plow their driveway, or pick up the kids, or walk the dogs. There's so many things that they might not be thinking about. And this app both allows families to ask for things and for us to offer it to them.
Afterreach is now available in the App Store. It takes out the guesswork. Funeral homes who opt in pay for Afterreach. Then access to the app is provided free of charge to families for 3 months after the funeral. Funeral directors set up the app for each family, and at the services, information about how attendees can download the app and sign up to help with a special code are provided.
We're going to get the feedback from families, from funeral directors, and we'll get those analytics and we'll get that information. We'll just keep on improving the platform.
In Glenville, Erica Lee, Spectrum News.
Thank you for taking the time to learn about Afterreach. If you feel that this is a good idea and you know a funeral home or a funeral director who might be interested, have them reach out to us at info@afterreach.com. Simple, organized, impactful. Afterreach.
Yes, you can see how simple it is. That is our CEO. That's Mr. Jacobs, Joseph Jacobs. Just wanted to introduce you to him and share with you a little bit about this new app. Next, we're going to bring up one of the executive team members. His name is Chris. I'm going to let him say his full last name because I never like to mess up anyone's last name. So welcome, Chris.
Thank you, Keith. Keith, great to be here.
Full name is
Mazzei. Mazzei.
How do you? Mazzei. Okay, Mazzei. So, Chris, thank you so much for having the opportunity to come on and allowing us to share about this new app. What and how did you come in contact with Afterreach itself?
So, far in advance of Afterreach becoming into existence, I knew Joseph Jacobs for many, many years now. And so when he came to me with this idea, I was all over it the minute he started discussing it with me. It's really a solid idea. So this was February 2018 when I jumped on board with him.
So February 2018. So now, since you've been part of the team, what are some of the things that you see that this app can actually aid with the community and families and funeral homes at large?
Yeah, I mean, now we just live in such a disconnected society. I mean, we're connected through all these technologies, but sometimes it creates a distance between us. So leveraging these technologies will allow us to bring people together from disparate areas, supporting each other across these large geographical distances in ways that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to. And it organizes it in a very simple way, so that we can do that. It helps to facilitate that support.
Okay. Good. So if I understand correctly, with the app, the organization itself is really for the family to organize around the person that just lost their loved one, whether they lost a spouse or a child. They can build a community around them and assist them. Is that the kind of organization you're talking about?
That's exactly the kind of organization that we're aiming for here. It's a very stressful and emotional time, as you well know, and it can be difficult to organize all those things. And there's a level of awkwardness in asking people for help, and sometimes it's awkward to offer help when you don't really know when the best time is. And so this helps to abstract from that awkwardness and really just get to the point, which is that core support that people want to provide and that people need when they're in those stages of their life and going through those events.
So if I understand, you're saying that when grief takes place, there are actually very difficult times, and some people who would like to reach out to the person that just lost someone, there's an awkward moment or time there. Do they make a phone call? Do they drop by? Do they send an email? Or if they would like to do something, like they may want to do a meal or come by and do their yard or help them take out the clothes or whatever, these awkward moments. So you're saying that this app could help. So what do we call that? What do we call that?
I'm sorry, which do we call which?
What do we call that group of people getting it together that you said, the community? Is there a word that you guys use? Is it like the support team or support organizer?
Care team members. Yeah.
Care team. Okay.
Yes.
So care team. Okay. So that's a good thing. So no, the reason why I asked that is because I think the care team part is very, very important. So I want our audience to know that you could be part of the care team. If you lost someone in your family, you can be part of that care team. This app is designed to help anyone that the family want to send this to be part of their care team. You could be a person who call them up to make sure they're okay. If they need a meal, if they need somebody to come by and take them grocery shopping, etc. This is the way. So that's called the care team. Okay. Now, is there anything else that the app will be able to do? What about notices and things of that nature? Is that something you could do?
Yeah, so without getting too far into the details, there'll be opportunities for the funeral homes, which are interfacing with the grieving parties, to provide them with notices on things they might, important times and dates for services, things they might need from them as far as paperwork goes. So it'll provide an opportunity for the homes to also interface with the grieving parties in their organization.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So how is this introduced to the community? Thank you, City by the Bay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It is a good app, and I thank you so much. Some of the things that you said. So what else could the app do to help us, or help the family, or help the funeral home introduce? What are some of the messages you think it should be introduced to the family?
Some of the messages that should be introduced to the family, you're saying?
Methods.
Yeah, so they'll be able to send out invites via email. They'll be able to share a link, share a code that would allow others who are interested in joining the support network to enter. So if they have the application, they just take the code and they're able to plug that in and jump right in and become a supporter right away.
Wow. Okay. So they're going to get a link and then they could be emailed. Is there any opportunity to be text or anything like that? Or is it just right now, just an email opportunity?
I mean, looking forward, there'll be a number of different ways to share that out to people that would like to join the care team. Currently, right now, it's through email. It's just strictly through email at the moment.
Okay, great. Well, you know what? We got some breaking news right now. Mr. Jacobs actually is coming in from New York, and we would like to bring him up into the stream. Mr. Jacobs is here, the actual CEO and the founder of Afterreach. Guys, we actually have the man himself, Joseph Jacobs. So, would you go ahead and come on into the stream, and we're going to get opportunity. Okay, we got a moment, but he's going to be coming in. So why don't we go ahead and do a couple more things for the funeral home? Is this something they can post on their website or on any of their social media pages so that families can be introduced to this concept? Is that something they can also do?
So they can post a link to the website, to the application, and we're able to provide some information about the application that they can post on there as well to inform people about it.
Okay. So the next thing I would like to ask, what if I don't have a smartphone or a tablet or anything like that? How do I do that if I don't have a smartphone or a tablet or an email address?
How are you able to participate as a supporter, you're saying, or as as somebody to
as
receive
a supporter, or if the family wants me to be somebody that helps them, how do I do that if I don't have an email or a smartphone or etc.?
Well, currently there's the functionality that's in the application is not provided through a web interface as of yet, but that's always a possibility of something that we can implement down the line.
Okay, that's good. Well, as long as we know that this new app is being developed and creative, we're looking at right now probably 12 to 18 months for it to be introduced to the general population, but we just wanted to get out ahead of it. We may want some beta testers and things of that nature. Well, I believe now that Mr. Joseph Jacob is ready to come on live here. So please come on up, Mr. Joseph Jacobs. We'd be love to have you with Christopher, and thank you so very much.
Thank you,
wow.
Mr. Charles. Good to see you.
How are you doing, sir?
Great.
You are now, you may not be aware of this, but you are now on the World Wide Web. You are being streamed all across different platforms. You're on Facebook Live. You're on Periscope. You're on different funeral home websites from Atlanta all the way down to Alabama, all over California. So you're doing very well. So, Mr. Jacobs, what was your desire or vision to start Afterreach in this app?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Keith. I appreciate it. Chris, good to see you. The inspiration came from a season of loss, and it started with my mother, who passed away on Mother's Day 2016. I'm a teacher. I had a student who was 19 who unfortunately passed away. Had a childhood friend that took his own life. And his 14-year-old son died a little bit afterwards. So there was a lot of loss and a lot of pain. And, at first, I just got to say that the funeral professionals are everyday superheroes, unbelievable human beings, men and women who take care of people. Oftentimes it's a thankless profession. And what they do, I could never imagine doing. We had very supportive people in all those different instances. But after the funeral was over, there was a gap. There was a gap in the support. There was the gap in the support that I got after I lost my mother, but there was also a gap in the support for the people that I cared about, that I saw. And I would think to myself, what can I do to help them out? And it's a support structure in our society that has some gaps for sure. And I started a journey on trying to figure out, is there anything that we could do to help solve this? Because every problem is solvable. And we've had some great conversations with funeral professionals such as yourself, Mr. Charles. And there's a real desire to see society do a better job handling people who are going through grief and to organize the process around that after the funeral is over.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And I also appreciate you sharing with what we call the last responders, a lot of funeral home people, funeral directors, funeral attendants, all those who work in the what we consider the death care profession. They also have been impacted by this time and this season of a great loss for a lot of families. More importantly, what we want to do is to be able to aid families during this time. And I personally believe that this app would be a great way to build community, to build support staff or support families around each other, And more importantly, it gives the funeral home, the cemetery, or the crematory another opportunity to use technology in a space that technology is not normally used in the death care profession. So I do thank you for, having the heart to go after a loss. And I think sometimes where good things come, sometimes they come out of people's struggles or difficulties of going through grief. And now something's been birthed. I mean, this is a great thing to be birthed so that families now could take, if you're a person who bake or you do cooking or you are somebody a good listener, you can make a phone call, you can send an email, you can, even if you write a poem, you can write a poem, all different kind of things that could be creative. What we want to do is to get the community or that support, that care network, to be able to really help and support all the different areas out there. And I do thank you. So I do have a couple more questions as we wrap down, because I want to see if there's any questions out there in the land. Can I be a supporter, even if I'm not in the local community? If I don't live in the local community, can I still be a supporter?
Well, I'm going to jump in real quick, and I'm actually going to leave. I'm going to leave Chris to it. I appreciate your time. Thank you for having me on, Keith. But before I do, I just want to say real quick that this process of Afterreach began before COVID. But we've seen with this pandemic the need to connect with our fellow human beings and to be supported by a community without even being able to be present with them, which is a major hurdle for society. And we're really happy to be on the forefront of trying to implement some things and figure out answers to that question. So,
wow,
Keith, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. Thank you. No, I think that was a good point that you made, that even though this app started before COVID, and now, people can't go to the nursing home, they can't visit their loved ones. We have social distancing at funeral homes, at the cemetery. There's all different kind of things that's happening. This app is a bridge to that. So now people can connect with their loved ones and find out how they're doing and things of that nature. Afterreach, we're looking at other types of platforms too, not just the funeral profession. And I think that right there, as we move forward and develop this app, I believe it would become a great community resource. Another question, Chris, how do I keep track of what I agreed to? How does a family keep track of what they agreed to? Like if they agree to a certain thing, how do we keep track of that?
Sure. So the app actually it keeps track of the commitments that you've made. So there's a scheduling calendar feature in there. You can see when things have been requested for, and you can see what requests have already been filled by other supporters, and you're able to see which ones that you've already offered to fulfill, and you'll get reminders that those are coming up, so that you don't forget.
Okay, so are you saying that there's a visible site, like on the calendar, there's a place so they can see what's already been fulfilled and what hasn't been fulfilled, so families can go on, see what's already been taken care of, what needs to be taken care of, and they can actually go ahead and do that? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Great. Okay. Now, what if there are multiple people who are affected by the same loss?
If there are multiple people that are affected by the same loss?
Yeah, like say there's brothers and sisters that somebody live in Texas, somebody live in, Chicago, and that person passed away in New York. Well, people been affected. Is there a way that this app can still help connect all of them together?
Certainly. It could be, there's a number of different ways that it could be tackled. But the requests that are put in can be specified. There could be details put in there as to who the request is for, or if they're that separated geographically, they could also have individual networks, I suppose, created in that fashion too.
Okay, good. Another thing is, what does Afterreach do with my information? Like when I put it in, do they sell my information? Is it protected? What do they actually do with the information that's provided?
So the information is transmitted securely, it's stored securely, and it is not sold, which seems to be a more and more heavily practiced thing in the industry is to sell customer data for additional revenue, but that is not the case with this. That was something
great.
we decided we didn't want to go down.
Yeah, that's good. So you've heard it here, loud and clear. This app is coming. It's a beautiful app, Afterreach, for the death care profession. It's going to help families have a support group of people that can assist them. Your information is secure. You'll be able to, across multiple networks with your family, friends, relatives, support the person that just lost someone. You know, we deal with end of life matters because end of life matters. The difference is we need to all make sure that in end of life, we're prepared, we're ready. Sometimes you may not know what to do. You may not even know what to say. We'll be able to help you through that so that if you want to help the person that just lost a loved one, we'll be here to help you to make that offer to them, whether it is to come by and clean the home or do their yard or walk the dog or take care of their pet, or even to pick them up and take them grocery shopping, or just to make a phone call. This will be a way that after death has occurred, you could reach out to your loved ones, to your family members, to your friends, to your coworkers who just lost someone and not feel awkward, because now we have an app called Afterreach that will be able to bridge that gap. Thank you. There will be more interviews coming in reference to Afterreach of other team members. Joseph Jacobs, the CEO, joined us today, but I do want you to know we got a few minutes here. If there's any questions at all that anybody have, I thank some of you for already checking in and saying that you did like the app and you think it sounds good. It's very important. So if we have a Facebook Live, Periscope, if anybody has a question at all, especially a question in reference to when someone passed away, having the talk of a lifetime, how to introduce this topic to your family members, because sometimes people don't even know what to say or talk about when someone's getting ready to pass away. Okay. What about someone going to a nursing home? You know, how do we do that? You got to be able to have the conversation, the talk of a lifetime, introduce us to your family members and friends, husbands and wives, get together and share how you like to be laid to rest. Make sure you talk to each family member. I say this often, and I want you all to know, you need to leave your family with the will, not a bill. So important that we focus on helping our families know what to do and where to turn. So when death does occur, you can have this app and other things that we supply to you. We want to just make sure each person has that opportunity. Again, thank you. And we appreciate you joining us. We got 3 minutes left. And if there's no questions, maybe we have tell them to leave their, please leave your questions in the comments. Thank you so much for that thing that you gave me. Please leave your questions in the comments. We can come back and also answer them later. We just want to make sure each one of you, and we also want to thank Chris for taking the time out to come and be interviewed on our platform here. Again, this is brought to you by Afterreach and Legend Cemetery Funeral Services, and we do thank you so very much. And Mogul Clients for StreamYard and helping us out and doing this. Mogul Clients, it's a great opportunity for you guys to connect. Listen, if you can like, share, or join any of our platforms, please do that. Thank you so very much again. And remember, we are here to serve those who don't know how to be served. That's what we do every day. Thank you so much. And remember, end of life matters because end of life matters. Have a wonderful day.
I just wanted to say thank you to the death care industry. You know, you're not out there getting credit. People aren't clapping for you when you drive home, but you have to do some of the hardest things that anybody's had to deal with during this pandemic. You know, you guys are the unsung heroes. So I just wanted to say thank you. It's noticed. Take care, everybody, and be safe.